Here is a sample project named Git in practice we are working on. It contains two files, contact.html and welcome.html. Both of these files are committed. If we go to options, appearance and then check out excluded files, you will see there is a directory named .idea in our project root directory, that is Git in practice. Now this directory contains settings specific to the IDE and the user for this project. We don't want to include this directory into the tracked files for a Git repository. If we check Git status here, it tells that this directory is not included in the tracked files up till now. In order to tell Git to not track specific files, file types or directories, we use a file named Gitignore at the root of the Git repository. Let me create one. .gitignore. Now each line of this .gitignore file is a pattern whose syntax is: number one, if you want to ignore a specific file by specifying its name, that is filename.extension, for example .env, secrets.json and config.json. Similarly, if you want to ignore a file by type, by specifying star.extension, here star means all, for example star.log, star.temp. Similarly, you can ignore an entire directory by specifying the directory name and then /. Here / means a complete directory, for example .idea and then /, .vs code and then /. Above three patterns could be combined to achieve any result, like directory name / file name. This will ignore this file inside this directory. Similarly, a directory name / and then star.extension. This pattern will ignore all the files with this extension inside this directory. ** at the root of the pattern, it means anywhere in the current repository. And then if we specify file name, it means this file name will be ignored if it appears anywhere in the repository. Similarly, if you want to ignore a complete directory anywhere in the current repository by name, you can specify ** directory name and then /. This pattern will ignore anything starting with temp anywhere in the current repository. This directory will ignore any directory whose name starts with temp anywhere in the current repository. GitHub's official Gitignore repository includes templates from most of the languages, frameworks and tools. You can navigate to github/github/gitignore. Here you can check out a collection of useful Gitignore templates, like if you want to check out the Gitignore for the Java language, Next.js Gitignore file, Rust, C.Gitignore, C++, and if we come to tools, we look for JetBrains. Since I am using a JetBrains ID, I will take this file, copy its contents and paste it here. We will see a few patterns for your understanding. Like this pattern will ignore workspace.xml file anywhere in the .idr directory. Similarly, this pattern will ignore tasks.xml file anywhere in the .idr directory. But here we want to include the complete .idr directory. So we will not use this one. We will ignore the complete .idr directory by specifying its name and then /. Now if you want to check git status, it only tells that the .gitignore file is not in the list of tracked files. We will commit these changes. By staging Gitignore file and then using git commit m add Gitignore file. If we check status here, we are on main branch and nothing to commit. To view ignored files and directories, simply use git status -- ignored. As you can see that .idr directory is ignored. Gitignore only prevents new files from being tracked. If a file is already in version control, adding it to .gitignore won't remove it. To stop tracking a file that's already committed, you need to use git rm -- cached and then file name. In this case, we will check it out for contact.html. Here you can see that contact.html is no more in tracked files. If we want to ignore this file, we need to include contact.html file name in our Gitignore file. Save it. Check status. It tells that this file has been deleted from the list of tracked files, though it is still present in the project directory. Also, it tells us that Gitignore is now modified since we added a new pattern. Since we changed the Gitignore file by adding this pattern, we need to stage it and then commit it. To add this file again to the list of tracked files, simply remove it from the .gitignore file and then we will add it by using git add dot. It means adding all the files. And then we will remove the contact.html from the list of ignored files.